They say love makes you blind, but in my experience, it's not love that blinds you, it's comfort. You get so comfortable in your life, in your routine, that you stop checking the locks on the doors. You stop looking at the bank statements. You stop wondering why your wife suddenly put a passcode on her phone. My name is Jason. I own a mid-sized logistics company. Trucks, warehouses, shipping containers. It's not glamorous work. It's dirt under your fingernails, 5 a.m. phone calls, and solving problems that other people are too lazy to touch. I built this company from one rusty van to a fleet of 50 trucks. I worked 18-hour days, so my wife, Vanessa, didn't have to work at all. Vanessa was beautiful. The kind of beautiful that makes you overlook the red flags. She liked nice things, designer bags, luxury cars, vacations in St. Bart's, and I gave them to her. I thought that was the deal. I provide the lifestyle, she provides the home, the loyalty, the peace. I didn't know that while I was building our empire, she was busy digging a tunnel underneath the foundation. It happened on a Tuesday. Always a Tuesday, right? My operations manager called me. One of our trucks had a dashcam malfunction, and he needed me to check the cloud backup to see if a specific delivery was made. I logged into the server, but I clicked on the wrong folder. Instead of truck 42, I clicked on the backup feed for my personal SUV, the Range Rover that Vanessa drove 90% of the time. The file was dated 3 days prior. I was about to close it, but the thumbnail caught my eye. The car wasn't moving. It was parked, but the interior audio was active. I put my headphones on. At first, it was just the sound of rain hitting the roof. Then Vanessa's voice. "He has no idea, babe. Jason is so buried in that stupid warehouse, I could sell the house out from under him and he wouldn't notice until his key stopped working." My blood ran cold, but the next voice froze it completely. It was a man's voice, smooth, arrogant. I recognized him immediately. It was Julian, my financial advisor, the guy I hired to manage our retirement portfolio, the guy I invited to our BBQs. "Don't worry about Jason," Julian said. "Just keep pushing for the joint account access. Once we have full signatory power, we can start siphoning the equity. We'll leave him with the debt and the trucks. We take the cash and the beach house." I listened for 20 minutes. They didn't just talk about sex, though there was plenty of that, graphic details about what they did in my car. They talked about liquidating me. They were planning to divorce me, but only after they had untangled my assets so Vanessa could claim half the business and ruin me. They called me the ATM. They laughed about how gullible I was. I sat in my office, staring at a spreadsheet, listening to my wife and my financial advisor plot my destruction. I didn't scream. I didn't smash the computer. I felt a strange, icy calm wash over me. It was the same feeling I get when a shipment goes missing. Emotional reactions don't solve problems. Strategy solves problems. If I confronted them now, without a plan, they would win. We lived in a community property state. Without a prenup, Vanessa was entitled to half of everything I built. If I filed for divorce today, she would get millions, and Julian would be managing my money for her. No, that wasn't going to happen. I decided right then and there, I wasn't just going to divorce Vanessa, I was going to bankrupt her. The next 3 months were the hardest acting gig of my life. I had to go home every night, kiss the woman who was planning to rob me, and act like the clueless ATM she thought I was. I played into their narrative. I started complaining about the business. "Honey," I said over dinner one night, looking stressed, "the market is crashing, liability lawsuits are popping up everywhere. I'm really worried about our personal assets." Vanessa's ears perked up. "What do you mean? Are we in trouble?" "Not yet," I lied. "But my lawyer says if a driver gets into a bad accident, they could come after everything. The house, your car, the savings. They could pierce the corporate veil." I saw the panic in her eyes. Not for us. Panic for her lifestyle. "We need to protect the assets," I said. I was thinking maybe we should legally separate the finances, just on paper. If I put the risky assets, the business, the loans, the liabilities in my name, and put the safe assets, the house, the cash accounts, in a protected trust solely in your name, they can't touch them. It was a trap, a classic post-nuptial agreement disguised as protection. She took the bait instantly. She probably texted Julian under the table right then. They thought they had won. They thought I was handing them the assets on a silver platter to keep them safe from lawsuits. We went to the lawyers. I had my lawyer, a shark named Stone, draft a very specific agreement. Here was the kicker. The agreement stated that in exchange for Vanessa getting sole title to our $3 million home and the liquid savings, she agreed to waive all claims to the business assets and liabilities. What she didn't know, because Julian was a terrible financial advisor who didn't understand corporate logistics, was the true state of the business assets. I had spent the last 2 months quietly leveraging the business. I took out massive loans to expand the fleet. On paper, the company was worth millions, but in reality, the debt-to-equity ratio was high. The company was currently a massive liability, heavily in debt for new equipment. But the real masterstroke was the house. The house was valued at $3 million, but it had a $2.5 million mortgage. Vanessa saw the $3 million value. She didn't think about the monthly payments. She assumed I would keep paying them. We signed the papers. She looked like the cat that got the cream. She signed away her right to alimony and her claim on my business in exchange for keeping the house and the savings account, which had about $100,000 in it. She thought she was securing her golden parachute. She was actually handcuffing herself to a sinking ship. 2 weeks after the papers were signed and filed, I initiated Phase 2. I came home early. Vanessa was in the kitchen, on the phone, probably with Julian. She hung up fast when I walked in. "Jason, you're home early." "Yeah," I said, loosening my time. "We need to talk." I sat her down. I told her I knew. I didn't play the recording. I didn't need to. I just told her, calmly. "I know about Julian. I know about the plan to liquidate me. I know everything." She turned pale, then red. She started to scream, to deny, to gaslight. "You're crazy. You're paranoid." "Save it. I'm moving out. Today." She stopped screaming. A smirk crept on her face. The mask slipped. "Fine," she spat. "Leave. But don't think you're getting off cheap. I'm taking half the business. I'm taking alimony. I'll bleed you dry." I smiled. It was the first genuine smile I'd felt in months. "Actually, you won't, Vanessa. Remember the post-nup? To protect the assets? You own the house, solely. You own the savings, solely. And you waived all rights to the business and alimony." She went blank. But you have to pay the mortgage." "No," I said, standing up. "The house is in your name now. The mortgage is attached to the deed. It's your asset. It's your debt." I walked to the door. "Oh, and by the way, I fired Julian this morning, and I reported him to the regulatory board for unethical conduct and insider trading based on some information he let slip in my car. His license is suspended pending investigation. I don't think he'll be able to help you with the payments." I left the house with 2 suitcases and my dog. The fallout was spectacular. Vanessa tried to fight the post-nup in court, but because she was the one who pushed for the asset separation, on the record, in emails to my lawyer where she expressed concern about liability, the judge upheld it. The reality hit her fast. The mortgage on the house was $12,000 a month. The property taxes were another $40,000 a year. The $100K in savings lasted her about 4 months. She couldn't sell the house because the market had dipped slightly, and after realtor fees, she would have been underwater. She had no job. She had no alimony. And Julian, well, he turned out that once he realized the cash cow was actually a broke woman with massive debt, he ghosted her. It turns out he was only interested in managing her money, not paying her bills. 6 months later, the bank foreclosed on the house. Vanessa had to move back in with her parents at age 32. As for me, the debt I took on for the business was strategic. The new fleet of trucks paid for themselves within a year. My company doubled in size. I live in a smaller place now, an apartment in the city. It doesn't have a pool or a 3-car garage, but it has something way more valuable. It has peace. I drove by my old house the other day. There was a sold sign on the lawn. I felt a pang of sadness, sure. I built that life. I loved her. But then I remembered the dashcam footage. I remembered them laughing at me, calling me an ATM. And I realized I didn't lose anything. I just took out the trash. If you suspect your partner is plotting against you, don't scream, don't fight. Wait, listen, and sign nothing until you've read the fine print. Because the most dangerous person in the room isn't the one shouting. It's the one holding the pen.